My name's Sione Faumuina. I'm a former NRL and Kiwi Rugby League international, currently living in Rotorua, married with 4 children, and I was fortunate to obviously play professional sport, so I was getting paid, I guess, to stay healthy. But once that stopped, I noticed that my health or eating habits started to go by the wayside. So I weighed on average around 103, 106 kilos during my sports days. At the end of 2021, December 2021, I was weighing in at about 134 kilos. And yeah, that's when it sort of hit me that you're a father now, like you've got kids, you want to be around as long as you can for them. I guess one of the biggest challenges that I've experienced along this journey around weight loss and how I eat and exercising, all of that, the number one, I guess, challenge has always been the mental one. When life throws a few curveballs at you, eating and training, from what I've found, are the first 2 things to go when life becomes hard. So I got to a point where I lost about 23 kilos, got to 110 kilos over 6 months. Life was good, things were going well, and my wife and I had a newborn, and my son came into this world. And for anyone that knows what it's like when a newborn comes in, pretty much everything that's outside of a newborn sort of takes a back seat, which is what happened with my eating and training again. So I ended up putting 5 kilos back on, but I wasn't too concerned, and that's because I knew that I was still trying to do as much as I could during this time. Eventually would find our feet again and get our routine going, and I'll be able to get back on track, which is what I've done. One of my earliest memories growing up in my family when it came to food was my dad had a real knack of making it taste really yum. And for a lot of Samoans, that means soy sauce, garlic and salt. So we used to buy boxes and boxes of chicken carcass, but my dad would just make it taste so delicious, right? And then obviously chop suey. And so when I got older and started to become a professional athlete and then nutritionist, and people are saying, oh, you should probably not eat that so much or this and that. What I figured out was actually those flavors that my dad used, I can use the same flavors but probably just in a different context. So the chicken I would have, instead of having obviously the chicken carcass with soy sauce, garlic and salt, I'd water that down a bit. But then now I can afford chicken thighs, right? Stir fry, I would just use the same chop suey recipe for the beef, not use the noodles, but then just add in the veggies. So it's still got that same flavor that tastes like chop suey to me. So that's how I started to look at foods, was okay, what's foods that are good for me that they say? How can I incorporate some of my flavors growing up in our Polynesian food and almost like fuse it together? Food is a way of connecting. Food is love in our culture. For my parents, especially my dad, that's what reminds him of home. That's what reminds him of his childhood, is those sorts of foods, which are now embedded in me. I think that's why, I think from my own perspective, when it comes to struggling with healthy food choices, it's not so much the actual food choices. I think it's the struggle of disconnecting from that food, I think, because it carries so much weight in terms of culture, memories and connection. If I had any advice for anyone that wants to try and, I guess, get on that journey of eating a little bit better and maybe starting to exercise, it would be to find that one person that you know who wants to start that journey as well, and partner up. If you can find someone to start with and keep each other accountable, talk to each other, encourage each other, be there when you may be going through some troubles that could derail you, have someone to lean on, and then we'll go from there. And that's what kick-started me to then go on.